Alright guys, we're here in Arizona, first morning, first glassing knob. We essentially kind of worked around this face, and first spot glassed up a raghorn bull, but you drive, I don't know, 20 something hours and you get to the first spot and you put up glass and you put eyes on a bull. It's always a great feeling. So we glassed up that bull, worked around the face a little bit, found a bachelor group of 4 bulls, again a couple spikes and a couple raghorns in that group, and then shortly after that another lone bull up above them quite a bit. That was like a 5x5, so no complaints on the first glassing session, but not something necessarily that we're looking for given this tag. So we're gonna keep covering ground. We're here the day before the opener, so we have all today to kind of go and look into little spots that we marked while we were e-scouting on OnX, and put eyes on it and see what we can pick up for the opener tomorrow. Good morning. Well, Alex and I are here in Arizona on a late season archery elk hunt, and we spent all day yesterday trying to get a good understanding of the unit, and good glassing knobs, and we picked up 9 bulls. So it's pretty cool to drive 20 plus hours and sit down behind some glass and see that many bulls that quick, but nothing that really got us that excited. A lot of raghorns and spikes. So we're here, it's now opening day, and we're at a new glassing knob, and the sun's starting to come up, so we're gonna see if we can put eyes on a mature bull. Stay tuned. Alright guys, well, this morning we picked up a couple bulls. We actually heard a bull bugle that we couldn't put eyes on, so put eyes on 2 different bulls and then heard another one, but nothing that was stalkable or we wanted to put a stalk on. So we have probably covered, we drove about an hour and 15 minutes. Now we're in a different section of the unit for tonight. That's about 2:40, so we got about 3 hours until dark. So Alex and I are going to split up on 2 different sides of this ridge and glass into these drainages and hopefully put eyes on some bulls.
Guys, great morning so far. We picked up a good bull. We're gonna look at the footage and really figure out what he is. I got a good look at him on the video, but to maximize the morning, I just set it on video record and walked that way to see what other bulls might be in the area. So, but right now we got one bedded bull. That looks to be broken. And then either the bull I first spotted met up with him, or there's a 3rd bull. So we're really just trying to figure out what's what, and then we'll make a game plan. But these bulls don't seem to be an older age class than the bulls we've been seeing. So fingers crossed. Alright guys, well, this morning has been eventful. So we first spotted that bull this morning as time went on, more and more bulls started to pop up. So they were bedded. Stuff's really thick. And so once they stood up, we could start to see them. So right now we have 5 bulls down there, 2 that are kind of paired up, and 3 to the left of them that are together. So we have found a target. It's the 7x7. And he's further down drainage, which is the way I'm going to have to come anyway. So hard part. Terrain is loud as can be. The wind's not great, so I'll have to figure that out when I get down there. But Alex is going to stay up here, keep tabs on him. And then I got quite the drive ahead of me to get down, or out, around, and down. So I should be within a half mile, though, of the bulls once I leave the side-by-side-ish. But last 2 days we've seen 16 bulls, nothing of this caliber, and then we definitely found the pocket of mature bulls. So really exciting. Day 2 of the hunt, day 3 of being in the area. So we'll see if we can put some magic together.
Alright guys, just got to a spot where I can drop my pack. Got this little Kuyu pack strapped to me, this little stalker pack, and I got some moccasins already put on, and I'm about 300 yards away from those bulls, that target bull at 7x7. So got the GoPro going, and then Alex is still up on the perch, so weather's rolling in. Hopefully it'll give me some cover noise. Stay tuned. Alright guys, well, I'm now sitting under 90 yards from where I pinned them. I'm sitting about 85 yards from those bulls, but it's 12:30, and I think sneaking through here when they're bedded isn't going to be an option, so we're going to have to wait it out, and hopefully they get up for a little midday snack. So if not, we're going to have to wait till right before dark, and once they're on their feet, then I'll have a lot better chance getting an arrow in that 7x7. So we're going to hold tight and wait it out. Well guys, doing the walk of shame a long one, but I don't think I spooked them. I think just ultimately they had moved on, and I literally walked right through the bull's bed, 7x7. There's a fresh pea stain tracks. Went over to the other, like in the same general area, and that other bull, the 6-point, found his bed, pee in that bed as well. So very, very fresh sign. Ultimately, they moved into some thick stuff, and so instead of just walking through there making a ton of noise, especially with the bow in hand, I backed out. So no visual. We don't know exactly where they went, but they definitely didn't leave the drainage. So Alex is still up on the perch glassing, and then I got quite the drive, hike back, then the drive to get Alex. So he'll be up on that perch until dark, so that'll be good, especially if they come out. But tough day. That was a long hike, but for a bull of that caliber, you definitely got to make it. So day 3 is almost in the books. Lots of bulls spotted, older age class bulls. So it's looking on the up. Stay tuned. But last night glassed up 5 bulls across the canyon, so too far to get to tonight, but might be able to make a play on them tomorrow. So another awesome day in the elk woods, seeing a lot of elk. What's crazy is we've seen like 20 something elk in this unit, 0 cows, all bulls. So it's been action packed, but yeah, just gonna sit here and glass until dark, and then hope Corey picks me up, and then we'll get after it again tomorrow. All right, guys. Well, after yesterday, we came back to the same area where those 5 bulls were yesterday with the 7x7 in that group. So we've looked from 2 different vantage points and haven't been able to relocate them. So it's mid-morning. It's pushing actually 11 a.m. So it's pretty thick in here. So if they're bedded, it's pretty easy to overlook them. But I think we're gonna head out and then come back this evening, and hopefully we'll pick them back up. But it's kind of a tough decision because you can go last another location, but we have a bull identified that we are wanting to shoot. So we're gonna probably put some more time in here, try to pick them back up. It's late season. Usually they're not going to move too much, so those are the things that we're thinking about as we're trying to make a game plan. But it is tough in this wind and this cold to sit here and not see anything. But we'll keep after it, see if we can pick them back up, and go from there. Well, another awesome evening glassing for some elk. Spent the majority of the day, all the day, looking for that 7-point that Corey's got his heart set on, and weren't able to turn it up. Did see about 50-60 elk on a ridge system, like quite a ways away from us, so not enough time to get to them tonight. Watched them feed down, so maybe those will be in play tomorrow. But man, it's been a great trip so far, seeing lots of elk, lots of beautiful country, as you can see behind me here. But we're looking for a big one, so we're gonna get after it tomorrow. Got quite a bit of a drive back to camp, so we're gonna get that underway and hope for some more awesome time in the elk woods tomorrow. It is mid-morning. We got up here at first light and started glassing. Got Mike Shaw with the Big Eyes out here giving us some help, so he was very generous with his time coming out here to help us spot some elk. So Corey made his way down in the dark this morning to where we had seen elk the night before, hoping they were going to feed out, and we did turn up about 16-17 cows that funneled kind of about 200 yards up from him and then bedded down. So Mike and I have spotted a few bulls this morning, but they're all pretty far away, and something in here's got him a little spooked because most of these elk started running around 7:38. So we're gonna sit up here a little bit longer, keep glassing. Another beautiful day in Arizona, and keep after it. All right, guys. Alex and Mike just picked up another group of elk. It seems to be a 6-point. I'm waiting to hear how big, but I'm gonna boogie up this hill. That way I'm in position if he is a shooter. So we'll chime back in here, but I got a quick 500 feet climb to get up in position, and then hopefully I'll cut him off. So stay tuned.
Well, I just bumped those 17 cows, and they had no idea. The wind was perfect. I came up probably 35, 40 yards, and they all stood out of their beds, and they finally moved on. They didn't know what's what. But I'm going to stay put here and kind of check in with Alex and Mike and see what's going on. All right, guys. Alex and Mike just let me know that those other elk from last night are actually coming up the same direction as these cows. They're just really far behind, so I'm gonna hold tight. The wind is really finicky in here, and I don't really know what I'm gonna do about it. It's kind of stormy wind, so I'm gonna try to get in a good position for if they follow that same track that I'm in. I'm gonna have a shot. So here we go. Damn it. The wind must have swirled in here like I was saying earlier. It's like a stormy wind, so the thermals aren't really holding true. And I just got an inReach message that the elk were super close to me. And then the next inReach message was, did you shoot? Because they're running. And no one else is in here. And based off of where Alex and Mike said the elk were, they had to have been really close. So, man, whole 3/4 of a day play here, and we had to have been within 150 yards. So it's archery hunting though. We'll keep after it and see if we can pick up another bull. All right, guys, it's the afternoon. We are all back together. Had some fun this morning, in tight on 2 different groups of elk. One all cows, and then the other group probably was about 150 yards from me. Alex and Mike got a good show of watching them going the opposite direction. But we got a new glassing knob here tonight, and a lot of country to look at. We got some big optics, and we're gonna see if we can put eyes on another bull, get a target. What's that? What do you think of him? It's a good bull, like a 340 bull. That's a game. 3 in 2 days, 4 in 2 days. 340. There's no big bulls here. Big bull yet.
Alright guys, the old truck camp, full effect. It's a vet move right here. 2 jet boils, 2 packages of top ramen. Speed up the process. Not good on fuel efficiency, but we have, what do you have? Chicken Alfredo. Alex having chicken Alfredo tonight.
Sponsor us, Peak.
And we have a 340 bull-ish spotted in a tough spot. So we're gonna eat dinner and make a game plan for tomorrow. But no shortage of bulls in this unit. It's been a fun hunt, and excited to get after it tomorrow after some good dinner here tonight. Alright guys, we are below where that bull was last night. So Alex glassed him up last night. We pinned him and made a game plan for this morning. So I'm going to approach from the bottom. I'll use the thermals to my advantage, and Alex is going to stay down here glassing, and then Paul, who just joined us this morning from Precision Hunting Supply, is back where we glassed him up from last night. So hopefully we can keep track of him. He hasn't moved much but now I got quite the trek ahead of me. The wind is completely gone, so now my cover noise is gone, but we're gonna see what we can make happen here. And he's a good bull, so we're pretty excited about it. Stay tuned. Well, the gig is up. Man, Paul did a great job of walking me in on this bull, but it's thick in here, and I mean, I stalked into him about 20 yards, maybe under. It was crazy how close I got in this terrain, but because it is as thick as it is, the approach needed to come in a way where hopefully I had an angle once I got in tight, and I had to literally watch him get out of his bed, so I couldn't see exactly where he was bedded, but then he got up and then moved just a little bit and moved away from me at an angle, and that's where I saw him. And once he had moved, he was at like 20 low 20s, so I can only imagine he had to be in the teens, high teens, or 20 yards where he's bedded. But these stockisons right here, I call them stockisons, but they're absolutely money. I picked these up, and I also picked up this little pack from Kuyu. And I've been strapping them to the front. I'll take a photo of it and show everybody. And then when I get in tight, I take my boots off, strap my boots to the pack, and put on my moccasins. And it has worked really well. Hasn't led to a punch tag, but I'm really impressed with this setup and how close we've been able to get on a few bulls. So, especially in this like rocky shale, everything is loud in here. So I'm gonna do the walk of shame back to the truck, meet up with Paul and Alex, and figure out a game plan for this evening. But man, that was a close one. So stay tuned. Walk of shame completed.
Well, another morning sit in the books. Corey and I glassed up some bulls last night, and they were too far away to make a play on, so I drove up top to glass where we saw them. Corey hiked all the way in, kind of in the general area where we saw the elk last night, just in case I was able to pick him up, he would be able to make a play. So picked him up this morning right at first light, and Corey got in close, but it sounds like the elk might have smelled or seen or heard him or something, because they got out of the area. So spent the rest of the morning picking this place apart, not seeing much. Sun's out, so elk are likely close to bedding down. So I'm gonna pull out of here, and there's some parts of this unit that we haven't quite explored yet, just haven't had time. So we're thinking today's a day to throw a Hail Mary, so to speak, and just go check out some areas that we haven't seen before. So another beautiful day up here. See an elk almost every time we throw up the glass, but just got to get a little closer and get some luck on our side.
At some point in the hunt, you got to do some discovery, and we have been, since the morning glassing session, we've been covering ground, confirming things that we saw on e-scouting and whatnot, and it's now 2:30, and we're gonna walk into this new area. We should be able to glass off both sides of this ridge and put eyes hopefully on a shooter this evening. So we've relocated quite a ways away from where we've been spending some time. So hopefully this area has some good potential, and we'll see. Stay tuned. All right, guys. Wasn't long before I sat down and got eyes on another bull, so it's pretty cool. Even though it's a grind, having a bow in hand this late season and crazy conditions and relatively, very thick unit to hunt. There's no shortage of bulls, so it's just fun putting eyes on them. And we got another 6-point here. At first glance, doesn't look like a shooter, but clean 6x6, and he's in a pretty tough spot to put a stalk on. But I'm gonna keep glassing and see where he ends up and go from there. All right, guys. Well, we are down to the wire. We got 2.5 days left here, and uncharted territory for Alex and I. Normally, the first good 5 or 6 is definitely getting an arrow or bullet, but we've looked over 40 plus bulls in this unit, and I just went into the hunt saying 330 or plus. I've never done that before, and I tell you what, the people that are able to do that is tough, because I'm getting itchy sitting on these bulls. But we're gonna stay true, and we'll see how I feel about it at the end of the hunt. But we got a couple more days left. We're having a blast looking over, like I said, ton of bulls. Sun's about to come up, and we're almost to our glassing knob for this morning. So hopefully we can put some eyes on a shooter bull and get the moccasins out and put a stalk on.
I am currently in the side-by-side, as you can clearly see. Quick update. Corey and I split up like we have been, running the kind of playbook where we can glass up more areas. So he was down low. I was up top where we've seen some elk the last few days, and picked up the herd again. 2 good 6-point bulls were in there. Corey was able to see them from the bottom, but not enough daylight to get to them. So get back to camp, download with Corey, and kind of see what he's thinking for the morning.
guys, we relocated those bulls first thing this morning. We've made a game plan, and Alex and Mike are going to stay put here, and then I'm going to get in side by side, get to the head of a ridge system, walk down that ridge, get in tight, play the thermals, and if they're still on their feet, I'm going to make a play this morning. If not, I'm going to stay a safe distance back, and Alex and Mike will keep track of them best they can, and once they get back on their feet, we'll make the final approach. So, gonna play the long game. I might have to wait till tonight, but that's what you got to do when you got these bigger bulls. And but this will be the last straw, so hopefully we can make it happen. Well, guys, that's a wrap for Elk Obsession. What a year. What a year. A lot of fun. This hunt was the last hunt of the year for us, and it did not disappoint. We didn't punch a tag, but to see 50 bulls and have four to five bulls that were shooters and make 4 plays, just couldn't get it done. But what a fun time looking at all these bulls, all these elk, spending time with Alex. Thank you, Mike and Paul, for coming up for a couple days to do some glassing and help out. Hope you guys enjoy the series and go from there.